I'm Munni Pramanik. I use she, her, hers pronoun. I graduated from UVA in 2018.
And I'm Jannatul Pramanik. I also use she, her, hers pronouns. I graduated undergrad with UVA in 2016, and now I currently work in Multicultural Student Services as a program coordinator. We kind of started this idea a couple of weeks ago when I think the governor had issued the stay-at-home order, and things were getting really serious, and people were starting to, I guess, look for ways to protect themselves. And
plus the CDC said to start wearing masks outdoors.
Yeah, and so with that, we were like, okay, now that we're at home, what's a productive way to use our time? And so we've been making these masks, and they're cloth masks. They have a couple of different layers and have like a filter pocket in the inside if people want to add an additional filter when they use them. We found a video of this mask specifically from like a healthcare system, and they went through like a step-by-step, like, oh, this is how you make it. This is all the processes and the equipment that you need. And so we've been using that and essentially just making masks and giving them out to anyone who reaches out to us.
We have about like 95-ish orders that came in the past couple of weeks. And we've given out about like 60 or so. So we're still in the process of completing them. We also got like a mass order for at least 25 masks for a community organization, which is something that we're working on right now.
We're in the middle of a pandemic, and I think the impact of that has been manifesting for individuals in so many various ways. And for us, I'm super fortunate that I'm able to work from home and still have access to like financial resources and that stability. And so in my method, I was like, okay, I'm able to have this privilege to feel secure in my position and where I am, but there are so many inequities and disparities that have been brought up with this pandemic. So I think it just felt the most natural thing for me to want to do this and be a part of this process, because of the fact that I know I'm so fortunate of having this stability in my life.
And plus it's fun. It's a nice way to use up time. So I'm not consistently watching TV or whatever. So it's a nice little activity.
Yeah. A lot of the inquiries that we've gotten and orders we've gotten have been through messages through Instagram. And then anyone who has our number and is close to us or knows us, they have I've also gotten contacts through text messaging as well. So it's been a lot more digital, and sometimes people will find out through word of mouth, but they'll contact us directly through Instagram or texting. She and I kind of tag team on drawing out all the templates, because the mask itself from the tutorial
has three parts to it.
Yeah, there's 3 parts to it, and we printed out the templates from the healthcare system's website.
We'll trace them and whatnot on fabric, and my sister will ask individuals what fabric they want, so they do get a little bit of choice in terms of what they want and stuff like that. And then we'll just sit down and kind of go through an assembly line process.
And throughout this whole process, we have hand sanitizer near us, so that we're literally pumping hand sanitizers between each contact between the masks, doing the best that we can to adhere to all the sanitation aspects and worries.
And in addition to that, we do wash the fabrics before we start cutting, so it's there's another layer of sanitation there.
Doing these masks has been almost like a mental health break. Of forcing myself to be oh, I can do something with my hands that comes out to a product that isn't just me wanting to do a product through technology. After we give them out, people will usually send us pictures with when they wear them and all that stuff. And so it's been really nice. I would say all of them have been pretty memorable, just because of the fact that the process is just so individualized. And so at the end of the day, we have to have contact with these individuals in some sort of way. And so it's been a pretty cool way to meet people that I may or may not have met through my role in MSS, or even people that Munni may not have met through her roles as well.
I do love seeing the pictures and seeing how everyone's enjoying it and how everyone's using it. This is something that we started in order to help the community, and seeing that people really enjoy them and actually find them really helpful. And the fact that people really enjoy the little pockets for the filters is really great.
We're trying to think of better ways to get these masks out to people who may not have the access to social media, or just may not have the means to know about it. because the whole purpose was to get these masks out to the individuals who are most marginalized and vulnerable during this time. They're completely free. The only thing that we've been doing is
asking for donations to help with supplies and whatnot.
A donation isn't required to get a mask. And so we try to make that very clear, because I think one thing that we wanted to be very mindful of is making sure that it isn't barred by any like financial barriers, and making it as accessible as possible. At the end of the day, we don't want to take credit for all of this, because it's not just us. It's not ours to take credit for. Like I know a couple of different other community folks who have been making masks and just like giving them out to people. And so this really is about just adding to the greater good and like looking after your neighbor and understanding that there is validity and looking out for the needs of the community alongside maybe your own individual needs, but being more intentional about the community as well.